Welcome to the Fit2 Talk podcast.
Thank you, as always, for listening as we bring you meaningful, helpful, and accurate information. And
Remind you that fitness doesn't have to be boring.
right now, you are listening to one of our talk episodes during which Bobby and I do this.
Yes.
Whatever
Yes,
that was.
I don't know what that was. That was weird.
If you like what we do, then please leave us a review.
Please leave us a review. On that note, cue the music.
It's Fit2 Talk. You know what that was?
What was that?
That was the vegan sausage roll you just had.
I did have a vegan sausage roll. I feel like I've probably got some vegan sausage rolls still in my beard. Saving it for later. Sam hates my beard at the moment.
Why?
I do look a little bit ridiculous. Like, I would say 90% of my face is hair.
I just want to throw this out there. You're saying I do look a little bit ridiculous at the moment. When a solid 9 of our episodes, maybe 10, were filmed when you had the moustache of madness.
The moustache of madness. I mean, that moustache was ridiculous.
I mean, it was for filming a top secret project, of course. We'll never mention it ever.
Never.
But this, awesome, cool project, so it was worth it. But at the same time, we did so many episodes during that time period. It was like 2 weeks or something.
Every time it pops up, I'm like, oh my God.
And so many of our guests were very polite and just never said anything.
Yeah, nobody mentioned it. I think people thought it was part of my aesthetic.
Which I'm on board with. So how is Sam not happy with this by comparison?
This is it's too long.
Right.
It's too long and too messy.
Right.
Sam likes it when I'm super tapered. I'm like nice and get that skin fade. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, at least she's got an opinion.
Yeah, she does have an opinion. I respect that she has an opinion.
She actually cares what you look like. She still cares.
She still cares.
After 16 years, she still cares.
She still cares.
I think that's healthy.
Yeah,
She's like,
I'm on board.
What she's saying is, I think you look hot when you look like this.
Yeah.
And that is motivation enough, isn't it?
Whereas right now she's like, you look disgusting.
Yeah, get away from me. Stick downstairs with Bert.
I don't want to be in the same room as you. And I respect that as well.
Fair. Well, we should get to the joke.
Do it.
It goes like this. My girlfriend now works as a bin lady. And that's it. If you don't know what we're doing, that's the beginning of a joke. And we'll hear the end of the joke at the end.
If you don't know what we're doing, get to know.
Get to know. This is a Get in the Bin number 2 episode.
Number 2!
Not that number 2s should get in the bin, although... we did a launch...
That sounded like you were doing a number 2.
That's the sound at the start that you did. We did an episode recently called Get in the Bin. That included the contents of our Fit2 bin, which were from our launch event, in which we got the guests to write down some things that they thought should get in the bin about the fitness and wellness industry, like all of our podcast guests do. But the change was that they could also write things about the performing arts industry too.
Yes, they could.
Now, we've already had some banging reviews from that, and people loved it.
Good.
And we only got through a small amount of those things.
That was just a small sample.
So,
A little amuse-bouche.
shall we amuse some more bouches?
Boushy bouche.
Here's the bin.
Let me see it. Oh, look at it. It's glowing.
I don't know. On the camera, it looks exactly like what it is, which is that there are LEDs.
Do you know what? I was looking back at the footage of the video, and there was a moment you brought it to your face, and it just your face just lit up.
I'm going to try it.
It was amazing.
That didn't work. I just hit the microphone.
That was not
It's not
successful.
working. It's not working. However, in here are still there's a plethora of goodies in there. Or we say goodies, but we legitimately haven't read them. This has been stored faithfully like this for a while now. So,
I like that they're unknown.
Yeah, I mean, this could go many, many ways. We hope it's not just filled with profanities. Or if it is, that could be funny.
Yeah, I blame Abby Honeywell.
If it is, it's 100% her. I'm going to pull out the first one.
Go.
And see what happens. I've endeavoured to make sure none of the old ones got saved.
Wise choice.
So, fake information. That's it. And people becoming obsessed with food plus not eating.
Okay.
There's a small possibility that it says false information, but I'm pretty sure that's meant to be okay.
Yeah, that's just fake.
Fake information and people becoming obsessed with food and not eating in the bin. The irony of this, is it irony? I'm not sure, is that we're removing things from the bin as we do this episode. So I'll make sure
we'll put it into another bin,
I've
an
stored
actual
them.
bin.
And yes, they don't get to stay in the Fit2 bin.
No.
I want them in there.
Maybe we've got a Fit2 landfill.
Yes, yeah, they go from the bin, they get put into the landfill, Fit to landfill. Okay, let's address that. Fake information.
I mean, fake information is flying around left, right, and centre. And
Let's not go into fake news overall.
No.
Right, but I suppose with exercise and nutrition specifically, it's really tough to discern what's accurate and what isn't, right?
Yeah, it really is. Particularly you jump onto TikTok or Instagram and you're just hit by a wave of people coming at you with some really hefty, really extreme statements. And often it's those extreme statements that get attention. And then because they get attention, they start to pick up momentum and then they're everywhere. And all you can see is these really extreme statements of whatever, anything to do with kind of health and fitness and nutrition. And that's really dangerous.
It is really dangerous. And I think on top of that, I think some of the more insidious ones are the ones that aren't even that big. So the little things that the person you might trust throws in there, that is a word that you might not, recognize, and they sound really smart when they say it, but actually it doesn't mean anything, or it means the opposite thing to what they're saying. And we all make mistakes like that, sure. But when that affects the content of what they're putting out there based on something that isn't accurate, the damage that can cause is so profound to a lot of people. And actually, it's interesting that that's in there, because that is one of the reasons we do this now. And the reason we say in every episode that we provide meaningful, helpful, and accurate information, that we're not going to say anything on here that we're not, at that point in time, 100% sure is accurate. And we do our best to do that every time.
Absolutely. And we might make mistakes along the way. We almost certainly will. But we will always look to rectify them, and we will go back and address it, because it's important, that kind of... I'd like to think that we're a voice of kind of truth within this kind of sea of just nonsense.
Do you know what? We should do an episode on this, because and about how people can filter that out when they're looking at stuff. Because I think that's the challenge, isn't it? To go, how do I know if what I'm looking at is bullshit or not? How do I know if this influencer who I love, or my friend who I worked with in town who's now posting this thing knows what they're talking about or not, when I don't have that knowledge? I wonder if we can... I'm putting us out on a ledge now because we now have to do it. But,
we're committing to this.
Committing to this episode. But I think there's value in that.
I think there is, because hey, look, there are people out there that you can trust. I'd like to think you could trust us. I'd like to think, if you're listening to this podcast, that you do trust us and kind of what we have to say.
Could you say that in a really untrustworthy way?
I'd like to think that by listening to this podcast, you trust us.
I still weirdly trusted you. I don't know why.
I felt like an informational video from the 1950s.
You kind of gave me ever slight Gandalf vibes during that. You shall not pass! You shall not trust us? I'm not sure.
You shall trust us!
But, sorry, I interrupted you.
Sorry. But yeah, because there's people the people that we follow as well, there are people out there that we trust as well. And I think it's important to kind of, I'd like to think we can all kind of support each other and kind of big up other people and kind of help other people navigate kind of this crazy area of just nonsense.
Yeah, it is that, isn't it? Of going, if you can support the people, you can point people in the direction of people that we also trust and value, and then also know that you're going to get discrepancies between everybody, and really then you ask the question. You go, well, what do you guys think about this that I've just seen? And let's talk about it. Maybe that's a whole other episode.
That's another episode. Committing to episodes left, right, and centre.
That is. We need people to send in posts and for us to verify them or not. Yeah. People becoming obsessed with food and not eating. We've spoken about that loads, but we know that that's obsessed with food is just not healthy in any way.
No.
An awareness of how much energy you're taking in. We're on board with that. Sure, to make conscious choices for your own health and performance, but obsession, no thanks. If you can't eat something without measuring it first, we're probably looking at trying to change that behavior.
Yeah, ultimately we want to have a good relationship with food. Like that's, I think that's something that any client who works with us, any time that we are talking to somebody about this stuff, like we want to create a good relationship with food. It's important.
We just did a whole episode about Nando's, for God's sake.
Like it's important to have a good relationship with food, and like we're lucky that we now do have a good relationship with food. There have been times I previously have not had a good relationship with food, but like we have, through kind of education, through knowledge, and through kind of research, and through experience, we have created a kind of situation in a world where we are comfortable with how we eat and the food that we eat, and we, as we've said before, like we aim for intuitive eating. Like anytime we're working with a client, we aim for intuitive eating. Like there are tools in our toolkit that we use to get ourselves along the way, but our end goal is to have that position where we instinctively can pretty much guess roughly what we're consuming, and that's a great situation to be in.
I sent you one, didn't I?
You did. This happened the other day. Yeah, you sent me a.
I was in this wonderful cake shop. In Cheam.
Love Cheam. Big fan of Cheam.
It's called By Anna. Cakes by Anna.
I felt like I drove past that the other day.
And it's lovely, right? They do these amazing, ridiculously decadent things, and it was a
decadent.
It was a blondie with white chocolate in it.
Yeah,
it was Milky Bar, I think. And it was this huge, slab of blondie that was dense. I was trying to work out in my head. I was just going, I wonder really where this is going to sit. And I was sort of going, a blondie of misery is going to be about 150 calories, and a blondie of joy is going to be sitting considerably more than that. But I sent you it, and your estimate was around the exact same thing as mine. And I was trying to, for those few days, I was actually tracking my food again to try and just check in with myself to go, where am I sitting with this? Because, after injuries in the marathon and stuff, I wanted to just rebalance and see if I'm at the right place. And I wasn't, actually. It was quite helpful. And go, okay, is my estimate of this about right? And it was hefty calorie content and worth every single calorie. Joyous.
Delicious.
Do you want to hit us with another?
Yeah, that's gone in the bin. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Why have I done that so awkward? Why didn't I just pick up the bin?
I have no idea.
I don't know why.
You were plunging your hand into that bin.
Strange. That was a strange choice. Okay, I made a weird choice there. Right, let's see what this is. I like this.
Oh.
Okay, this really can get in. I 100% agree with this. A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. Ew.
Ew. This is in the same writing as the previous one.
It might be, actually, yeah. Oh, no, different handwriting.
Oh.
Different handwriting. A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. Oh, God. Oh, that can get in the bin.
Well, also, it's just shit, isn't it?
It's just nonsense.
Like, I don't swear all the time on the podcast, but that is crap. Like, oh my goodness, a moment on the lips. First of all, why is it on your lips? Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I can't taste with my lips.
Yeah. So, can people? Is there any taste on your lips? I'm not sure. Is there any sense of flavour?
I don't know.
Perhaps a small
But
amount.
that's not where I want to spend it. I don't want it to be a moment on my lips. I want it to be a lifetime in my mouth.
There's that. So we'll skip over that.
A lifetime in my mouth.
And then a lifetime on the hips. It's so miserable as a concept.
Yeah.
Also, get over yourself. Know how much you're taking in and know how to handle it. Like, if both of us here, we're not saying that we're perfect at this by any stretch, right? The weight of every human being is going to fluctuate up and down. That is normal for your life. You will eat different amounts. Your calories will undulate naturally, even if you're on it. That is good and acceptable. It's positive for your body. We want that outcome. So there'll be times when you go, oh, I've put on a tiny bit more fat than I'm used to. I'll get rid of it. Like, without going, oh my God, I'm going to run 10K every day for the next however long. Like, if you know what to do, I hesitate to say this, for most people, it's quite easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know why you're hesitating to say that, but
there are exceptions.
Yeah.
But it is, like, if you are coming from a place of knowledge and experience with that, then it's quite easy to modify your diet in that way to have that change without it feeling like this massive change to your life. Whereas if you're at a place where you're consuming 5,000 calories a day and you're very used to that, that shift is going to be huge. Like, it's going to be a big change.
Let me throw another phrase that's similar to this into the bin.
Okay.
Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. That's in the same ballpark as this.
Yeah.
And that is another phrase I just can't stand.
Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. And it's such a difficult one to even talk about because, you have to talk about what skinny feels like. And that's just offensive across the board.
There's just everything about that phrase and everything about this moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips, everything about those phrases is just awful.
I can't believe that these used to be like really common parlance. Like people would just throw this stuff around.
Yeah.
Like if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, get out. Like get out. Like why are you saying that? Whereas I remember that being thrown around when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Like that was normal.
100%.
And that, I hopefully, that's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah, I'd like to think that that's not a thing. If somebody ever said that to me, if say I was just taking a bite of a cookie and somebody said, "Oh, moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips," I would pin them down. I would sellotape their eyelids open, and I would make them watch me eat an entire 24-pack of donuts.
I was going to say a Bruce cake, a Matilda Bruce cake.
I would eat 4 Bruce cakes, and I would make them watch every single second. And the whole time I'd be playing in the background "Hips Don't Lie" by Shakira.
Yes, let's get more of that in
for the entire time, and then I would just be down into my boxers.
Oh,
actually, no, I'd switch into Y fronts, and I'd be going.
Wait, are you singing it?
Whilst eating a cake, yeah. So it's a backing track. It's like a terrible MIDI backing track. I'm eating cake. I'm like,
wait, so it's one of those like karaoke things from YouTube where it's got like, karaoke backings and it's got like, ha, ha. It's like BBs.
The whole time across, because I've not paid for it, because obviously I don't want to pay for it. The whole time across it's going, karaoke tracks. Karaoke tracks.
Oh god, they're the worst. Why are they on YouTube? That's the real question about that. No one's listening to that and going, "I'll buy this."
This is what I want.
You'll go,
karaoke
"I'll click the
tracks.
next one because it's free."
Yeah.
Right. I'm delving the hand
in. I'm throwing that in. That's gone.
It's gone. Oh god, I've got my hand tangled in the wire.
You see, your bin is dangerous.
Grabbing my bin.
Your bin.
Oh, I see, Bobby. Yeah. Now that it's got a problem, it's my bin. Before that, it was.
It's dangerous.
Ooh, I like this one. Ooh, this is in the bin.
Noises.
Bikini bod. And in speech marks, for a strange reason, I think they should be on the other bit. What is a bikini bod? ? Which is a very, very valid point.
I've got a bikini bod right now. You've got a bikini bod. Every single body is a bikini body.
And this is the really frustrating thing. It's the same with that whole summer body scandal, right? And this, people still say I'm getting summer body ready all the time.
I see PTs putting it out there all the time.
And whilst I understand trying to get people to feel good about themselves and feel really positive, what it does is make people think that their body isn't appropriate for the summer or for the bikini or for whatever it might be that you're using. And that's just not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah. It's like saying you're not allowed to enjoy summer.
Yeah, because your body isn't the shape that we think is appropriate for it.
Oh,
fuck off.
Oh, God.
I've sworn so much in this one, so
I just
put that content rating on this.
The content is going to be explicit. Yeah, we've gone in now.
Yeah, but this is so harmful as a concept. That I feel like there's a whole generations of people who are alive now who have been harmed by these ideas. Like, we should go to the beach in a bikini and protest.
Yeah.
That's another episode.
That's in our bikini body. We'll go rogue. We'll go outside broadcast.
We'll call it Bikini Body episode. Yeah. And then we just get anyone who has ever felt like their body doesn't feel like it should fit, which would be everyone.
100%.
Because the whole point is it's everyone, right? Whatever your age, like size, any of that stuff. Like, oh my God. The idea that clothes should only be for a certain type of body is even not everything.
Oh, is that the Batmobile?
What a bizarre sound. We don't know if that came across for you, but it was like it felt like a minor earthquake without the rumble. I have no idea what it was.
No.
But it was joyous. Well, the studio's still standing, so.
Yeah, it is.
Should we do one more? We've got time.
Let's do one more. Go on.
Yeah,
it's my go, yeah.
That probably leaves a few more for the next time. Actually, there'll be a third. God, I'm so sorry. There'll be 3 episodes of this.
Hey, I'm enjoying this. So
I
I feel like I want to do more episodes of this.
So everybody else. I've never been so tense waiting for
I
something.
don't understand.
Okay, read it out loud and we'll work it out.
Number 1, it's fucked. Number 2, don't know it. Number 3, need a fucking lot of it.
Okay. Your experience of fitness, wellness, and the performing arts industry. That's what we said. So they've written... I'm sorry. Can I see it? I'm so intrigued by this.
I don't know who... is that...
If you are the
Is that
guest...
West End producer? I don't know if that's what might be West End producer.
Oh, it might say WEP at the bottom.
I'd say Weppy. Oh, it does say Weppy.
Is that what it is?
I think it says Weppy.
It's fucked. Oh, so fitness and wellness. He doesn't know it. Wellness doesn't know it. And then performing arts. Need a fucking lot of it. I don't know. Well, Weppy.
Oh, maybe was it performing arts, wellness and fitness, or performing arts, fitness and wellness?
Let's assume
Let's assume it's performing arts,
performing
fitness.
arts.
It's fucked.
It's fucked.
Agreed.
Fitness, don't know it.
Yeah.
Wellness, need a fucking lot of it. Weppy, we should say, is West End producer.
Yes.
Who is a wonderful gentleman, a character we've had on the podcast.
We have had on the podcast. That was a wild episode.
That was nuts. It was like this entire history of a character.
That was fantastic.
Live on that moment.
What a lovely performance. Like,
probably the most obscure thing we've done so far.
Yeah.
And yes, Weppy came and joined us. That's their nickname.
Yes, Weppy.
Came and joined us at the launch event, which was really, really joyous. And especially because he was massive on Twitter when I was in drama school. Famous released a book, dear.
The book is fantastic.
Oh, it's really funny.
It still does a weekly article in The Stage.
Yes, I mean, for good reason.
For very good reason.
Humorous. Okay, so in that case, performing arts, fucked. Fitness, doesn't know it. And wellness, need a fucking lot of it.
Excellent.
We'll have that. But we might
Let's do one more. Go on, do one more.
Oh, yeah, this will leave us a similar number for next time. So, number 5, I unravel. Okay. Ooh, okay. Well, we've done this one, so it's easy.
Oh, BMI.
BMI can get in the bin.
Oh, man, that can get in the bin.
Do you know what? I was chatting about BMI the other day again, and someone was like, why don't they just get rid of it? I was like, well, there's a real obvious reason why they don't get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that is that the health service needs a way of telling clinically overweight or obese people that they're overweight or obese without it being specifically their weight, because they might say, well, I'm 6'8", that's really offensive. You're like, yes, but in relation to your weight, your height and weight, et cetera, and your age, it is a tool that allows the NHS and other health services to say, you need to do something about this for your health.
Yeah.
But as we know, for most people, and no, that's not true. For a large chunk of people, not the majority, it isn't particularly helpful.
Correct.
Specifically when you're on the fringes of physical performance or athleticism or bodybuilding, as a lot of performers might be in those sort of realms. It's unhelpful. And if your drama school was testing your BMI, then they can get in the bin.
Yeah, because for what possible reason? If your drama school is testing your BMI, ask them why.
Well, I was told something about by someone who was in, shall I say the drama school? It was in Mount View.
Okay.
A few years ago. And we're only talking 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And on that person's course, which was the music theatre course at the time, they were made to weigh themselves still. This was only 3 years ago, regularly. I can't remember how regularly they said. I remember being very surprised at it either being weekly or monthly, but I don't want to present that as fact. Now, however, that might not be the practice or experience of everyone that's been there, and we'll caveat that, of course, but crazy that's a massive drama school doing that a couple of years ago, according to what this person has said. Might be lying, don't know. Person had no reason to lie to me, but we want to put the caveat out there that we don't know that's true.
No, we don't know that for fact. So
But that is madness, that there's this idea that in order to perform, you need to be a certain weight, or that your weight matters, which is really irritating to hear.
Yeah. Like, what? Again, for what possible reason are you doing that?
Yeah. Just to make people feel shit.
Yeah.
Should we lighten this up?
Oh, please.
My girlfriend now works as a bin lady.
Yes.
Trouble is, I can't remember if I'm going to take her out on Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh.
Every time. I'm so happy when your reaction is that. I was upset last time because you really enjoyed the joke.
I really enjoyed the last one. This one, no.
Yes. It's clever though.
It is clever.
It's a bin-related joke.
It is a bin-related joke. You love a bin-related joke.
Yeah. Most of them are rubbish.
Oh.
So what can you do? You hated that one as well.
No, but you did that one already before.
No, I said it was trash, but I'll give you it. Yeah.
It's close. Just different words.
It's jokes.
That's jokes.
That's what jokes do. Apologies.
I'm going to give you a little terrible joke as well.
Hit me.
What is an evil cow's ultimate goal?
I don't know.
Utter mayhem.
Yes.
Yes.
I know how to make that joke worse.
Go.
If you said mooham.
Utter mayhem.
It would make no sense at
No.
all. That's how it works.
Utter mayhem makes no sense.
Utter mooham. People be like, what's the second word?
Like, moo?
No, moo.
Mayhem.
Mayhem. On that note, thank you to everybody for bearing with us through this.
On that specific note.
Madness. A Fit2 Talk. And don't miss our next guest episode when we are joined by none other than Sam Cassidy.
A legend.
Yes, who is now smashing it round the world in his wonderful rock band, whose name I get wrong in the actual episode.
You do, and it's very embarrassing for you.
It is very, very embarrassing for me. I was mortified by that. He handled it like a true gent. I said it was like Belvedere, and it's Vedere, isn't it?
Yep.
And so apologies for that, Sam. I'm owning my shame by mentioning
Own that shame.
Chastising myself here.
Yeah, but it was a fantastic episode, and he is excellent and incredibly talented. He's got he's had a fascinating life, and it's a really interesting chat. So
written shows have been put on, things like Myth 27, all that stuff.
It's really worth listening to this one. And find us on social media at Fit2_Talk. As always, if you've got any questions you want answered by us, then you know what to do. Slide into those DMs, and I will be in there thinking about BMI.
And don't forget to leave us that review. And if you like what we do, we have been Fit2 Talk with me, Steffan.
And me, Bobby. And if you didn't like it, we've been Joe Wicks. Peace out!